Hi, let's get started with the Hindi consonants. Let's start with the first 10 consonants. And remember, as you watch them, try to write them with your hand in the air, kind of like this, or have a piece of paper and practice. This way, you'll have a lot of fun practicing it. Let's see how we can write down these five consonants of Hindi first. So these are the first five consonants, and let's start with the first one. It's k. So it has this k sound, and you write it like this. You first put a bar, and then you have this hook here like this. So this hook over here is like this. You can try it multiple times, and then you have this clothesline here at the end. So there's a hook here, and there's a line here, right? So that's how you write the g sound. So try it by yourself, or you can even put it like use your finger and point it in the air and try to write it. Let's move on to the next one. It's k, k. So how do you write it? You're going to have this part first, right? This part is very cool to write. It's a lot of fun to write this one. It looks like this. And then you're going to put this straight line and then this part over here, this straight line and then this circle. So it's got three parts. It's got this, then it's got this one, and it's got the straight line. And then as usual, you have the clothesline, right? This is the k sound. Contrast this with the g sound. The g is softer. When you put your palm in front of your mouth for this one, there should be no air hitting your palm, right? Technically, this is called the aspirated k sound or the hard k sound. Let's move on to the next one now, which is the g. This one. This g is easy to remember. Just think about the letter 16 and write it like this, right? And now flip it. So how do you flip this? You write 1 here and 6. So this part, reverse 6 and then a 1 and then put the clothesline here. Very easy to remember. G, you can think about it as this reverse 16 type thing. Easy, easy, easy. Next one is the k sound. This one is probably a bit foreign to you as well. Note that this is the g sound. This is the g. So again, this is the softer, this is the harder sound. This g, the way you will make it is almost like coughing and saying g, g, kind of this way. All right. Now, how do you write it? You're gonna have this part here. It's almost like an animal here, right? It's tugging at this tree here. So it's holding to this tree here. So you can think about it like this. It's over here, and then this bar. That's the stroke, and then you have this clothesline here. Again, one more time, you have this part, then this you have this line, and then you have the clothesline, and that's your k sound. That one is right over here. Okay, let's move on to the last one. This one is just for a formality. We hardly ever use it. So nga. Okay, so think about this as almost like a dollar. Do you see the dollar over here? You almost have this dollar kind of S thing here. So you put this part here and you have an S. Just simply write an S with this bar. So write this first part, then the S, and then put the bar, and then put the dot over here. So this is the ng sound. Ng. So all of these sounds come from the throat area. So let's recap one more time what they are. Right? They are the g, k, g, g, ng sounds. Now let's move on to this next part. Starting with this second row now. So this is the ch sound. Ch. Note that this is not the ch sound like in Charles or change. There's a ch. So again, when you put your palm in front of your mouth, there should be no H sound. There should be no H, no air hitting your palm. That's very important. And now let's see how we can start. This part here, you could almost think about this as the C and H here. Do you see how there's almost like a C and an H here? And that's actually the ch sound anyway. So you can kind of remember it like this. You got this line, and then you got the C, and then just the start of the H. And then, of course, there's an H here, but you don't write it like this, right? So one more time. So you have this, then you have this part, the C, and the half of the H here. And then, of course, you put this clothesline, and you've got the ch sound. That's the ch sound. Now, the next one is the ch sound. There's an extra H here. Many times we can even write it like ch, like this to denote that extra aspiration. There should be, this is the regular Charles or change kind of thing, that where the air hits your palm. How do you write it? It's kind of like this, like a reverse three again. So it's like this, and it's almost like an animal is holding on to a particular branch and it's got its fingers across it like this hook over here. One more time, you've got this animal, almost think about it, a little baby animal here, and it's holding on to a tree or something, and this is the clothesline again, right? Note that this is very similar. This looks very similar to this. It's both of them have this kind of a feel to it. So this is the ch sound. This is the ch sound. Now the next one is the j sound, the j sound. J. This is also very easy because you can almost see a J over here, right? Do you see this J? It's right here. So you can even think about it like a J. So you first draw it, though you want to start it like this, and then you put the bar like this, and then you put a straight line over here, and then you will have the J, right? One more time. You got this part, then you write it like this, and you got the J. Of course, every single consonant is followed by its aspiration. So this j is followed by the j sound. This is again unique to Hindi, so you want to know how to do it. It's not very difficult to write it. Remember, there's an S here, and then there's a one here, and you connect it almost. And there are some other parts here. So you start with this line, then you do it this way, then you connect it to this one, and then you have this clothesline. So remember, there are three parts to it, and then there's the clothesline. You have this part, right? There is a curl here as well. Then you have this bar, and then you have this line here, and you've got this. Note that this is the ch sound. The ch. Again, you just say the j sound like Jack or Jane, and then put the h on top of it, like almost like you're coughing. Ch, ch, this way. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is again the last part over here. These parts are usually, at least these three are not as common, but just for the sake of completeness, we'll do it. This is the y sound, y sound. Okay, this is like a y sound, y sound over here like this y sound. Okay, so how do we write it? Very easy. Reverse C, then the minus sign, and then the one, right? It's almost like algebra. So nya over here. So remember, this is the nya sound. Let's move on to the next one, which is this row.